Welcome to the session of Internet of Things Technology. We were discussing Module 5, that is IoT physical devices and endpoints. So for our better understanding with the topics of this particular module, so we divided this entire module into three parts. So in the first part, we already discussed based on Arduino Uno. The second part, we discussed about Raspberry Pi as a hardware component. And in the third part, we are elaborating more on smart and connected cities. This is Pradeep Kumar from Department of CSC, AJIT Mangaluru. So in this particular part, this particular session, so we are covering these topics: introduction to smart and connected cities, an IoT strategy for smarter cities, smart city IoT architecture, smart city security architecture, along with some of the real-time use case examples that is well suited for any smart city. To begin with, introduction. The smart city is a framework predominantly composed of ICT, information and communication technologies, to develop, deploy and promote sustainable development practices to address growing urbanization challenges. So right now, based on the population is increasing day by day and improvement in the lifestyle, there is a need of developing more areas so that that particular area can have number of schools, colleges, hospitals, shops for a better life management in a particular area. So to do with this, when we supposed to develop a new area or new city, so we can forecast these many things by considering these are some of the factors, and we can plan accordingly. So because during the plan, so we can make use of this information communication technology as a tool. So to develop, deploy and promote sustainable development, so that whatever the development can be done today, so that maybe in long run, it may help the people of that particular area. So now using the smart objects or using IoT, so there is a need to develop, deploy and promote sustainable development for a better growth. So now with respect to urbanization as a challenge, if you're considering, so better traffic management, better waste management, better water management, better power supply management. So all those can be tackled using this smart city. Nothing but via including different ICT tools, information and communication technologies tools, or making it as a smart in each and every aspects of development, so that we can address different area where we can apply the development, deployment and promoting of different growth related factors. So it is nothing but a smart city is nothing but an intelligent network of connected objects and machines that transmit data using wireless technology and the cloud. So it is nothing but an connected objects. Smart objects are connected each other through different communication environment, and the machines also can send those, receive the data through wireless and even cloud also. So using the connected objects, so the entire network can be easily monitored, can be easily employed for any other circumstances also. So cloud-based IoT applications receive, analyze and manage data in real time to help municipalities, townships, enterprises and citizens make better decisions that improve quality of life. So using this while making a blueprint of a particular city for urbanization, so you can easily address each individual part that you wanted to develop on that particular city, so that it can easily monitored by the municipality or township, or for a particular enterprise or for the normal citizens as well. So by that in mind, here where we can apply this smart city concepts via using IoT, we can employ in these many areas. We can employ smarter buildings and urban planning using IoT. Smarter buildings, managing power supply distribution, managing gas supply distribution, managing water supply distribution within a particular building, and managing the waste. So these can be implemented in a smart as a smart building. And we can have IoT in environmental development also to predict the different levels in the temperature, like like humidity level, carbon dioxide level, carbon monoxide level. So, and then we can do some research on the effects of the environment. We can do wonders by managing energy and water properly using IoT, by making smart grid, the power distribution and water management, so that we can stop even a drop of water, right? So this is the area that we can employ the IoT. And coming to transportation, so we can make different courier service and public service for transportation using better technological advancements and better technological applications. With respect to education, can have different experiments like a virtual labs, virtual classes environment, all those kind of thing for a particular IoT managed area as an education. And coming to healthcare, so we can employ social programs as well, public safety, and the administrator level administration. So these are the major areas where we can apply our IoT in these particular areas. Nothing but on the other hand, we supposed to employ our IoT as a smart object in planning and management, in infrastructure, and in human managing with the different people in 8 different areas. So it all together comes under a smart city. So using ICT, information communication technology tool, supposed to employ different applications to develop different applications to handle all these. So these are the major areas that must be addressed when we develop a particular city for tomorrow. At least minimum 10 to 50, 20 years, by keeping in mind need to develop such kind of cities. So the smart city is a result of the quickened advancement of the new age data innovation and information based economy in view of the system combination of the internet and media communications, organize, communicate, arrange, remote broadband system and different sensors systems where IoT innovation act as its center. Nothing but the smart city is nothing but where everything is advanced so that it can predict everything, almost everything, innovation by the innovation, and we can have different management in a proper hierarchical structured manner using internet and media so that you can easily organize or communicate via using remote broadband system. So by considering as an example, as part of India's smart city challenge, the smart city mission has identified 24 key features that a city needs to have. This is as per our Indian government. So they already posed different challenges for the youth or for those who have some idea in their mind. So they can give a different perspective or different prototypes for those different features that is to be implemented. So these are those 24 factors that is to be considered when we deploy a particular city or particular living area as a smart city. Those are involving all the citizens of that particular area, nothing but citizen participation, identity and culture, identity and culture of that particular area, economy and employment, health sector, educational sector, mixed use of different ICT tools, compactness, open spaces, housing and inclusiveness, transportation and mobility, walkable, IT connectivity, intelligent government services, energy supplies, energy source, water supply, wastewater management, water quality, air quality, energy efficiency, underground electric wiring, sanitation, waste management, and safety. So these are the 24 different features that a particular city wanted to have. So if we are trying to address these 24 different areas via using our IoT, then it will become a smart city. So while developing smart city development or the smart city project, so these are the areas that we can look after, or we can address these many areas via using our ICT tools or our own analysis on these particular different areas. Even if you have any idea based on this particular any areas, any idea that can be employed in your environmental area, you may directly contact. Okay, moving further. So the major five elements to have a smart city. The first element is nothing but the people, citizens. Smart cities are taking different approaches to engaging the people who live, work, and innovate within them. So everything should be inclusive over here in coming to the smart city. So now, as a first, citizen must be involved in each and every activity. So smart city, while developing a blueprint or a plan, make sure that the citizen of that particular city must be involved in all those. On the other hand, supposed to engage the people who live and work on that particular city, and via including them, supposed to innovate. So supposed to plan. For example, to develop a wastewater management, we supposed to understand the people's culture in that particular area, the people, how they spend water and how they manage. So by considering that, by discussing with them, can easily work out the different strategies to deal with wastewater management as well. So that is one of the major element of a particular area that we wanted to develop. It is nothing but people or citizens. The second element is infrastructure, technology, and data. When we say infrastructure, it is nothing but it enables our city systems to operate. It may be road, buildings, electricity, and communication networks. So these are the basic or a backbone of a particular city infrastructure. We need a proper road to commute and need to have a smart buildings. Each building should implement rainwater harvesting, better water management, better waste management as well, and with security features. So these are the things you can employ using our ICT tool. And electricity, proper distribution of electricity via using grids, management, managing the electricity during monsoon, during summer, and then managing the communication network using different internet service providers supply, broadband network, or other means of communication networks. So these are comes under infrastructure, technology, and data that is to be managed along with this as a second element. Third element, innovation and enterprise. A smart city can be thought of as a smart ecosystem of different organizations, activity, and stakeholders who make it smart. So need to innovate, need to do research based on the ecosystem, based on the area in which they're supposed to deploy, based on different organizations. So organization in the sense school, healthcare sector, hospitals, offices, government offices, grid, all those comes into the picture. So now when we deploy the smart city projects, we supposed to concentrate on innovation and enterprise as well. So innovation is concerned with, so that particular innovation should help for tomorrow's generation, say up to minimum up to 20 more years. And other activities, other community activities, and those who can contribute into the particular area. So using them supposed to implement innovative and interface oriented ideas. Then the fourth key element, nothing but leadership and strategy. A subject matter of the team and the members who lead the smart city efforts is crucial to the development. So for each to address all this, we have, as an example, which is given by our government of India, we discussed around 24 different areas, right? So these are the sectors supposed to address. So now to make a team for each individual missions or features, we need to have a subject matter experts, SMEs, those who can clearly guide the entire team in a right path, right direction. So for that, a subject matter on that particular area, for example, for a wastewater management, those who are very familiar with the topic, that is wastewater, how it can be managed, how it can be purified, how it can be recycled, all those. Then we need some leader, those who look after entire work. It is very crucial for their development. And effective leadership and inclusive decision making that empowers the city stakeholders is key to the success of smart cities. So while deciding different aspects that is to be developed, so better to engage individuals, those who live in that particular city. So nothing but inclusive decision making, nothing but everyone, every individual, those who are living in that particular city, supposed to know or understand what's going in that area, that is inclusive. So everyone should be known, clearly understood the project related with how the particular city can be developed as a smart city. Then the last element, that is measurement and learning. Smart cities need to be able to measure the performance, self-learn and improve the ecosystem. That is, on the other hand, self-sustainability on a particular area, that is very, very important. So measurement or measuring is nothing but performance. So whatever the deployment has happened or development had been implemented, so it should be clearly reflective in tomorrow's revenue also, revenue of the city. On the other hand, maybe collecting the taxes on various things, so that the people should be happy by the facility, so that they can relentlessly pay whatever they used, right? So that is to be the performance of each individual project must be in the top, and the self sustainability must be implemented in all those areas. For example, whenever we declare a particular city as smart city, it should generate its own power supply, either using wind energy or solar energy or any reusable energy, or it should have its own water supply, water resources, its own water resources, maybe lakes or different borewells, different for each and every building. If they implement water harvesting, then it is really sustainable in the crisis of summer, right? So these are the different things. And learning, improving the ecosystem based on the sudden changes in the ecosystem. So everything should be learned on a faster manner and should be implemented in clearly and well deserved manner. So these are the five major elements that is to be inclusive and coming to the smart city development. So those five elements are nothing but citizens. So citizens must be involved in top, bottom or bottomed up. Citizens needs should be addressable, accessible, easy to use, co-creation and trust. So these are the features should be involved when we deploying any project on a particular city. Leadership and strategy. Effective leadership. So very much need inclusive in decision making, empowering city stakeholders, collaborating, and partnership models as well, intercity partnerships, and different strategies and standards, so that it will improve standard of living also. Must be measurement and learning. There is metrics and indicators based on the different performance, city performance, learning, open approaches to ideas, sharing ideas and networking, educational courses as well. So these are all comes under that. Infrastructure and technology is concerned with should be future proof, should be smart technology and use of sensors, use of data, data ownership, all these. Coming to innovation, the smarter ecosystem, data economy, that is maintaining the data or keeping or storage with the data and researching on the particular data, finance and business models, various business models that is suited with that particular city. So these are the major 5 key elements of a smart city. So now, how we can club all these together, that is intersections of technology, design and planning. So you can see over here, we are supposed to collaborate both city and design together via using people for our smart city technology. Nothing but based on the urban environment, a technology advancement that should be applied for or to make a particular city as a smart city. So via using different ICT tools for planning and design in design. And then each individual design must be collaborative with the collaborating with the people can enhance that is with the citizen management. So in general, there's nothing but it is a combination of the smart city with the design and planning for a particular city via the central approach with the people. So everything must be incorporated via using their people on the citizens, those who live, those who are there in that particular area. So the design can be employed via using different ICT tools, can have a blueprint before implementing, can have clear cut structure where exactly the pipeline should follow the route, where exactly the power supply line should be gone through. So these all comes under design. And how we can employ that particular design in a city, for a city, via the help of citizen engagement. That should be clearly addressed by having all them together. Nothing but, so we are clubbing all these 5 elements of a smart city in a single picture. Okay. Any clarification so far? Please rise. So now, what are the benefits? So when we discuss about the benefits, there are numerous or huge benefits via the help of ICT in urban design and planning. As maps, data and assessment models are increasingly becoming a common heritage. That is, by the help of different sensors, actuators, and different other web-based technologies. So those will enable GIS applications so that we can rebuild, restructure entire city map, can manage the data, and we can assess the models very easily because of making use of different sensors, actuators, and smart objects. So that it is a very fruitful way to improve the chances of constructive interactions. So it is very much helpful in implementing various technological improvements. Having cloud technologies in a bucket, software among professional and consumers alike allow regular updates directly from the source through a steady integration of decentralized databases. For example, using cloud, the data can be stored, analyzed, and sent to different people for different purposes. So the data can be utilized in a better manner. For example, weather forecasting. So by knowing around more than 2 to 3 years of or more than that data for rain, so we can easily predict via applying different algorithms We can predict the weather forecasting. We can predict rainfall based on the changes happened on that particular area using different applications that we already developed using cloud. Nothing but as we are going to keep the data in cloud or even centralized or distributed databases, we can easily access those data for the betterment of society. And the geo-referential systems are central to decision-making processes at the local and regional level, facilitating decisions of institutional and entrepreneurial actors. Saying that via using geo-reference systems, something like geotagging, based on a particular area, particular product, a particular application. So it is easier for the local people, easier for the regional level as well to make a proper clear-cut decision in restructuring of institutional or entrepreneurial sectors via using the different stakeholders, nothing but actors, the one who utilizes, one who uses the facility provided by a particular city. Shared databases can encourage public-private partnerships and project financing by making data, information, and feasibility studies available to technical officers or by ensuring multi-utilities contributions. Shared databases. For example, for a clear-cut understanding of this particular area, to managing with the different environment-related data. For example, say based on the vehicular movement on that particular area, you can easily map via using sensors, easily record carbon dioxide level, carbon monoxide emission level by different vehicles, and can do some research on that particular area by observing those data. So to do the research, one must share the database. Database is nothing but day to day or based on the time frame, evening and morning and in the afternoon around 1 o'clock. So what will be the carbon dioxide level in the environment? What will be the carbon monoxide level in the environment at that particular moment? So by having this particular 3 times a day, 30 days, and for 12 months, keep on increasing. So we get huge data, a big data. So if that particular data can be shared, then we can do wonders on that particular data. By analyzing those data, we can apply different other development strategies, feasibility studies, whether we wanted to have restriction on vehicular movement, whether we wanted to develop new roads, new transport lanes for a better management with the traffic. So these are the things that can be improved via having shared databases. This is one of the major benefit with respect to ICT in urban design and planning. So to do this, we need to have different local partners interacting with international channels through an increasingly shared regulatory and planning processes are enhanced with the ICT. Nothing but, so we can share the data, share the idea with already developed nations where already the smart city projects are employed and applied and they are success in that particular area. So we can concentrate on them, can rely on them for some information related with how we can improve based on our area and our aspects via interacting with local partners and interacting with international channels as well. Urban design and urban planning practices can benefit from ICT tools used for constant and varied data collection, analysis, mapping, and simulation. So we can have different simulations before implementing. For example, if we have clear-cut five years data of past 5 years, then we can analyze the day-to-day advancement of technology, day-to-day advancement in traffic, increasing in traffic. So these are very much needed to have an idea while preparing a blueprint or a map of a particular urban area or urban planning, so that you can easily simulate, trace out what will be the result if in this particular pace or speed, the traffics are increasing, the vehicle movement are increasing. That is how ICT tools help to identify and in a better manner using data collection, analysis and mapping, how we can implement those ideas. With the smart city technologies, it is also possible to enhance the power and scope of tools. Power and scope of tools using those tools. So power, this, for example, if you're considering sensors, we have several sensors that can be used in various areas, various uses as well. Sensors can be used in water, sensors can be used in a very cold environment as well, which can work till minus 50 degrees, 60 degrees and so on. Sensors may work properly in 120 degrees Celsius in so much heat, right? So by knowing, understanding those tools in a better manner, so that you can improve the technologies that is used in that particular area. So we have a diagram. It shows a central smart planning protocol for ICT applications can be used across scales, sectors and user groups. So just for as an understanding purpose, included this particular protocol, smart planning. We'll have a look. Here it is a smart planning protocol. So based on region, we can clearly bifurcate. We can bifurcate based on different objectives, that is social, civic and economic. So these are the major areas that we can concentrate. So where we supposed to apply some new decision making environment, decision making policies, procedures that is to be deployed, or local development strategies based on these three areas. So these three areas should be neatly addressed with innovative, competitiveness and cohesive objectives. Everything should be inclusive. So using this data can have a cloud governance or open urbanism using smart tools or smart city applications. For example, when we say smart city, so we may start with the power supply, may start with different healthcare, education, transport, energy, water, and waste. So these are the areas that is supposed to address coming to regional, metropolitan, urban services and functionalities that is to be addressed. So we need to have a smart planning protocol that can be addressed in various areas, various segments as well. It is not like a benchmark, but we can have different ideas, criteria based on the area and based on these three things. Because to have a particular city self-sustainable, we should have a clear-cut economic restructuring, clear-cut civic management, clear-cut social management as well. As that is concerned, a smart planning protocol is a need to have in a particular smart city. Any doubt or any clarification so far? So need to have a strategy for smarter cities as well. When we say strategy is nothing but a plan, proper clear-cut plan should be needed before implementing a smart city related projects. So it covers managing a city, bears some resemblance to managing a corporate enterprise. Something like corporate style of management may be required. Need of efficiency increases. New tools help increase operational efficiency as well. So the different tools that can help to increase operational efficiency, that is to deliver proper management with the various areas, for example, water management and energy, power supply management. So these areas are needed, each and every individual that can easily monitor, and everyone, every individual citizen expecting efficiency 100% in these two areas, managing with the power supply and water supply. For example, to stop completely to be stopped with respect to power theft or to stop water theft as well from the major pipeline or water leakage. So it's needed to have a proper new tool so that can clearly measure the leakage of water, clearly measure drop in power supply, all those kind of area that is to be addressed. So we should to have, while employing different perspective or while developing a proper plan using some of the algorithms need to be clearly addressed. For cities, just as for business, digitization transforms the perspective on operations. Entire digitization in all the business areas, making use of wallet payment, making use of smart payment, and other business perspectives. So during this particular process, making different strategies or plans, new ideas may emerge. So it may bring different approaches to solve the management related issues from top level to the bottom level for a common man. So new ideas may emerge. So need to have a clear-cut strategy in such a way that a scalable solutions utilizing information and communication technology can alleviate many issues urban centers face today by increasing efficiency, which reduces costs and enhances quality of life in that particular city. So that via having very good efficiency in distributing power supply, distributing people management, or by monitoring, people monitoring with respect to security issues, when we have clear cut new ideas, so that when it reduce cost as well, may enhance quality of life of that particular city. So these are the various areas need to be addressed as we call the term vertical IoT needs for smarter cities. So on the other hand, vertical IoT needs are nothing but the major area that is to be addressed. Consider a situation with the various areas we are going to discuss now. Smart buildings. Smart buildings have the potential to save $100 billion by lowering operating costs by reducing energy consumption through the efficient integration of heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, HVAC work, and other building infrastructure systems. Suppose to develop a smarter building, so that particular building can have its own power management, may have a rooftop solar panels, may have its own water supply, its own borewell, its own water recycling plant, its own water resources of other factors. For example, implementing rainwater harvesting and proper smart surveillance mechanism. So these are the areas in which is supposed to given proper idea, proper deployment of a particular plan is very much in need. So there is a major need that is to be employed under smart building. And then second area or need is gas monitoring. That is, monitoring gas could save 69 billion by reducing meter reading costs and increasing the accuracy of readings for citizens and municipal utility agencies. For example, right now in our area, for example, so we have gas supply from agencies. So they'll supply those gas via different uh, areas or different modes. Some may supply through different agencies by vehicles with some personnel. They may send the gas cylinder with some personnel and they'll supply, or they may give gas cylinder in the basement. They may have a distribution area over there. So now throughout managing with this particular gas, for example, in today's in today, as an case study, you can see, you may read in a newspaper or TVs. So there is a pipeline from Cochin to Mangaluru, gas pipeline by GAIL. So that is gas distribution. So they wanted to distribute gas from Cochin plant in Mangalore. So they have underground pipeline for distribution, proper distribution of to individual homes in our city, in Mangalore city. So now how to manage with this? A clear-cut proper management, monitoring management is required, and proper meter readings. We're supposed to have digitized meters for accuracy so that the people, the one who use those facility may be happier. This is one of the need where we can employ IoT. Coming to smart parking could create 41 billion by providing real-time visibility into parking space availability across a city. This is one of the major area where we can apply new algorithms regularly or update existing algorithms repeatedly so that we can have better parking management, better vehicle management in a area or in an environment or in a surrounding or even in a building as well, basement parking as well. This is one of the area where we can employ IoT. Then coming to the water management, a smart water management may save billions by connecting household water meters over an IP network to provide remote usage and status information. So this is one of the area if you are interested with the networking IP network, and we can club IP network with the smart water management. So you can connect the IP oriented water meter so that even clearly a user can see his or her household water management through web or mobile applications. So that is real time consumption can be easily visible and can have leak proof management of water. There is leak detection also can be mapped. Then road pricing, there is something like related with the revenues or toll. So implementing automatic payment as vehicles enter busy city zones, that is toll, while improving overall traffic condition. So real-time traffic management, real-time conditions can be managed from the remote area or from centralized area. So the data is very valuable and actionable information that can also be used to proactively reroute public transportation services or private users. So these are the areas, different areas like smart building, gas monitoring, smart parking, water management, and road pricing. So these things can be uh, employed or can be managed with the better algorithm, better area, better idea, with the better idea via using ICT tools or with the IoT. So now, while improvising these five or these major areas, these vertical areas, these are the major areas. While addressing that, we are supposed to compare with the various strategies which is already available in developed countries or in our neighboring areas, neighboring cities as well. So before chalking out different strategies or planning out different strategies, you need to compare with the global scenario and the strategies which is already available. So nothing but we're supposed to compare with the global perspective with the isolated or sidelined strategies as well. Because based on the particular area, particular city, some of the infrastructure which is already in hand, which is already developed in the previous generations. So those idea may be isolated or those idea which is well suited for the past years. But for tomorrow, so those strategies or whatever the strategies already employed may be outdated. So in this particular context, we need to compare the different strategies which is sidelined along with the global scenario as well. So the main obstacle in implementing smart solutions in today's traditional infrastructure is the complexity of cities are operated, financed, regulated, and planned. So need to have a clear-cut bifurcation and clear-cut understanding about the solutions that we wanted to address. Because some of the strategies which is already available in that particular area or which the citizens of that particular city is practicing so far. So that is maybe the idea may be isolated or idea of operation maybe need to further advancement in using the different technologies. So that is to should be clearly understood while checking out different different strategies to address that particular situation. So the independent investment model results in the following problems. So these are the problems that is need to be addressed when we have independent investment models. There is isolation of infrastructure and IT resources. So based on the infrastructure, sidelined infrastructures, and even IT resources. So based on the investment model that we wanted to approach on that particular city, there is to be clearly addressed. And no sharing of intelligence and information, such as video feeds and data from sensors. For example, consider is supposed to have a better surveillance management, security management. So in such context, if the sensors, using the sensors, if that if that particular data or video clippings are not shared with the officers or intelligence, and then it is very difficult to employ better idea or better approach to address the fault which is already happened. Waste and duplication in investment and effort, waste management, and wasting the investment, wasting the money for same idea again and again. So for example, we can give a better example. So you may have clearly observed in different area of your own city or different areas, there is already one bus stand or bus waiting shed is available. Nearby that, some more by some other developer, one more bus stand come up with. So that is duplication in investment. When you already have somewhat okay with the bus waiting shed or bus stand, then what is the use of having another bus stand instead of developing the same thing with the different perspective? So the effort and investment might be wasted without proper planning. Then difficulties scaling infrastructure management. So managing with the infrastructure. So for example, infrastructure in the sense, for example, today we have planned for some kind of development for that particular area, but without given time, without deadline, is not able to complete that particular task. So if you do not able to complete within the given period, so again is supposed to think more, because of already so much time has been wasted without proper implementation. So in that particular period, automatically the vehicle may be more came into the road, or population of that particular area might have increased in that particular year. So all these is concerned with, is supposed to think properly in such a way that it is, these problems are clearly addressed. So now when we plan to have these kind of things, so these are the different technological questions that we're supposed to address. So these are the major technological challenges. First one, how do you collect the data? What are the various sources of data, including hardware endpoints and software? So now, when we are trying to have a blueprint for a particular city that is to be developed as smart city, then what are the feed? Nothing but how we can collect the data. What are the various sources of data? For example, based on the sensor that we use, temperature data, humidity data, population data, vehicular movement data, two-wheeler, three-wheeler, four-wheeler. So all those bifurcations. And what are the hardware endpoints we need, number of sensors? What are the software that we need to connect with those endpoints or sensors with our actuators and with our server? So there is one of the major challenge that is to be addressed. There is with the data and how we can manage that particular data, ever growing data. Day by day, the data is increasing as a big data is supposed to introduce. And the second challenge is, how do you make sure that any data collection devices such as sensors can be maintained without high cost? Based on the deployment, based on the time frame, if you do not implement, then the price may increase or price may alter. So in this case, how to address that? What is the guarantee that is to be addressed? So when we collect the different data from different sensors or actuators or those things, so what will be the cost incurred to collect those data? There is one part supposed to address as a challenge. And then how to analyze and where to analyze. Where do you analyze the data? What data do you carry back to the cloud, and what data do you analyze locally? So this is clear cut bifurcation is required when we collect and analyze the data. Consider a situation, temperature data. So based on the sensor, we may get the temperature sensor data, some temperature data in the form of Fahrenheit within say 5 digits. Then you're supposed to convert it. So that is nothing but applying some analysis on that particular data. So where we supposed to do analysis on that particular temperature data, and what part of data that we wanted to keep in a cloud, in a storage, and which of this particular part can be analyzed locally. So these are the things supposed to addressed as a challenge that is to be addressed. And then next coming to the network. So what kind of network connectivity is best suited for each type of data to collect? So based on the data, based on the network criteria. So when we say network connectivity, so different networking technology that is to be used. Say we may divide wireless and wired, and based on local connectivity, peer-to-peer connectivity, mesh, or different other topologies or technology that is to be used. So how suppose how the network technology that is to be selected, that is to be implemented. Then what kind of power availability and other infrastructure such as storage is required. So power availability, nothing but how we can supply power for individual endpoints, hardware components. What is the source of that power and other infrastructure backbone as a storage. What kind of storage we need? Local storage, cloud, RAID, different drives. How do you aggregate data from different sources to create a unified view? For example, to present to the normal citizen, we're supposed to draw a map, pie chart, Venn chart, or other representations, different beautiful presentation to the user, how to collect and what kind of sources supposed to incorporate to collect, to aggregate those data. And how do you publish the data and make it available for application to consume? For example, to make use with the temperature data, tomorrow there is a need of weather forecasting. So for that particular application, how that data, temperature data can be available, to make it available. So that is a challenge. Then how do you make the end analysis available to specialized smart city personnel such as traffic operators, parking enforcement officers, street lighting operators, and so on at their logical decision points. For example, if you employ traffic management using IoT, so how that can be available, how those data analyze the data can be available for the traffic operator, in which manner, which mode is supposed to employ. Coming to the parking related thing, for parking surveillance mechanisms, how the communication should take place. Street lights, how if one particular street light is not functioning properly, how that operator will get to know. So which street light and which area is not operating functionally, fully functional. So that is based on the each individual case analysis supposed to address those things. So how this can be addressed as a challenge? And how do you present the long-term analysis to city planners? So while implementing the design, so these are the factors that is to be addressed. So how to present this or how to predict via using ICT. So these are the different technological challenge that is to be faced when we prepare with the blueprint, when we prepare with the design for a smart city.